Coming up in today's video, I'll briefly take you through how I give my Flames of War vehicles more life. Adding storage can be daunting, but with these simple steps, you'll be covering your tanks from top to bottom with all kinds of equipment. Let me know at the end of the video if you found this useful. Okay guys, so I really didn't think I was going to get this video out, but I'm doing it for you guys. I'm going to get a video out, so I'm going to just touch on how I go about adding storage to my vehicles. Now, if you haven't kept up with my social medias or followed the community page, my room is an absolute state. It looks like a bomb's hit it. It looks like it's been part of the Second World War. I'm upgrading where I paint, and I'm going to be adding some cool new little features around the room and such. So didn't think I was going to get a video out, but I've pushed through and I've got this little video going. It's not going to be anything too fancy, but we're going to be looking at storage. So when we're doing our tanks in 15 mil for Flames of War, this obviously works for others, but we're talking specifically Flames of War here. You want to add storage. When you're talking tanks, when you look at images on Google, they're full of vehicles that have storage. So it could be a tarp like this one. It could be barrels of fuel or water, crates, sort of sandbags, sleeping bags, could have sandbags as well, jerry cans. You've got a violin case here, again some more tarps, a case for tools, for example, webbing, so the helmet here. So the ideas and the amount of storage you can put on these vehicles is really endless. You can go hard, you can go light. If you look at pictures on Google, especially the ones that are in action, you'll see that they are absolutely coated in storage. So let's start with the basics. So let's have a look at how I make my tarps. So to make a tarp, it's really straightforward for me. I use masking tape, and all I do is I get a little bit like this. I rip it off, it's sticky, stick, and I fold it in on itself, push it together like that, and then I get the trusty scissors, snip it down to size. So just go whatever you want, like this. Obviously try and keep it straight, like that. And then I get my fingers and I give it a good scrunch. And then I will have something that I can use as a top, just like that. As easy as that. So then I can manipulate it to how I want it to look, tuck it in and around items, whatever you want to do. So obviously when I'm talking about my storage and the way I go about storage, I will apply the storage before I paint the vehicle. That way you can go really hard with just some cheap and nasty super glue. You can glue bits of it on and work it around, and then if you get glue over the vehicle, you're not going to be worried because you haven't really affected the paintwork. You can just trim that down if it leaves a bit of something. So yeah, tarps, really easy. Look, just a bit of masking tape and super glued on. Some people use cigarette paper. My friend Chris Hardy over at the Flames of War painting group, he uses cigarette paper to really great effect. It really is your own taste. So we can see that I've got tarps here as well. I haven't painted this one as such, but that's a tarp right there. We've also got another tarp here for my LRDG. So adding storage can really be straightforward, can be really easy. So once we've added the tarp on to where we want it to go, obviously try and make it look natural, so tuck it in and around things. We might want to add on other things. So for example, let's have a look at how I've added these drums and the cable that's holding those drums in place. Okay, so 3D printing is everyone's friend at the moment. So you can 3D print most storage these days. Flames of War are really good in the fact that they give you, a lot of the old kits have fuel cans in them and other bits of storage. Some of the new plastic kits, I've got a bag of bits here, none of them have fuel cans in there, or fuel drums in them. But yeah, the Flames of War are really good for that. So you can 3D print some of your storage if you need to. So that's exactly how I got these fuel drums. And then for the cable holding them down. This is just cable from electrical wires, and so this was for when I was doing my house lighting. I just stripped some of them back and took out the copper strands. You'll pick these up from your local hardware store for next to nothing. If you get like a meter worth, you're never going to go through it all, as long as it's stranded, and you can pick out little bits of this copper wire. You can see that it's flexible enough that you can bend it. Oh, it's gone absolutely flying.
One eternity later.
Okay, so somehow I managed to lose that wire. It'll be around the room somewhere. But I've got another bit here just snipped off. So you can see that it's flexible enough that you can bend it, but it's hard enough that it's not just going to snap straight away. So you can bend it to shape. And again, all I would have done was glue a corner of the wire on the drum and then bend it into shape and glue it back down on the other end. Again, just using super glue and cheap super glue, and doing it when the vehicle's not painted. Now we've done that trick, we know how to do the tarps, and we know how to add towing cables and wire and cables around drums. The other trick we can do is making some stowage underneath the tarp. So you don't need to go and buy yourself drums and cool looking stowage if you're just going to hide it with a tarp. So the best way that you can fill them is by using old bits of sprue, like what I've got here. Also, again, if you're into your electronics, sometimes your plugs will come with blanks like this. Chop them off. These are perfect for little crates underneath here. So that's all I would have done here. Just add bits of these, built them up. So cut a little bit off on each bit, make them into like a little pyramid, super glue them down, and you get that shape form. Same with the ones underneath here. And then I've also built up the stowage around it. So it looks like you've got all these jerry cans and boxes and stuff underneath here, but when really all you've got is some piece of junk that you're probably just going to throw in the bin, but you've recycled and you've made it into your storage for your tanks. Storage really gives your tanks a lot of life. This is what we want. Gives them their own story, their own sort of character, and really makes them stand out and makes them individual from their peers. I'm talking about them as if they're human, but you know what I mean. Another trick is some vehicles tended to weld on other plates. So if you can see, I'm trying to show you this priest. Is it going to go into view? Yeah. So this is a piece of plastic from a folder. So it's clear plastic that used in an A4 folder, sort of like a divider or contents page. And I've cut that into shape and super glued that down. You would think that this came with the kit, but it didn't. So again, if you look at historical photos, you'll see that some vehicles welded additional plates on to house their storage, and that's what you can do. So there is other options. Another option is there are companies out there that produce storage for you. So this is a company, I have no idea what the company is actually called. I just found it on eBay. I bought them and it came like this. So, there's quite a bit of work involved. You break it off. So you break it off and then you just snip around the sides, get your Stanley knife and clean it up, and then bosh, you just glue it in where you want it to go. But you want to do this in conjunction with all the techniques I've just shown you or talked about. So we've used the tarps, using the masking tape or the cigarette paper as my friend Chris uses. He just used that with PPA glue. The reason I opt not to use cigarette paper is because it breaks up very easily. I prefer to go the masking tape route because it can take a lot more of my bending and gluing, and it won't break apart. It's also very good for flags, so I've painted flags with using this technique as well. So it really is personal flavor. Just do what's going to work best for you. I've just realized I've actually got some cigarette paper here. So cigarette paper is really good for conforming to the object. So here I've got a tarp that's over 2 Vickers machine guns for this LRDG truck. And you can see that it's just conforming. I probably didn't put enough glue on there or bend it into shape properly. By bending into shape, all you need to do is use this and just push down on it. But that would have left the Vickers machine guns looking like they're there, but then you just paint over them as if they're a big old tarp. But yeah, you get the gist anyway. And then there is another option. So there is as I said, the Flames of War kits come with stowage. So the plastic kits all come with some forms of stowage. I think some of the German ones come with buckets, and then they've got other bits and bobs, tarps and such, as I showed you here. So these are all from the Grant/Lee kits that the British have, and the Priest kits. So we've got fuel cans in here, we've got additional machine guns that you could break off and add as an extra bit of storage. You've got tarps and crates, etc. But yeah, the metal kits came with storage. Some of the kits came with storage. So this was from a US kit, but these are perfectly fine for your Allied stuff as well. So your Russian or your British. But yeah, obviously they're tailored for US, so there'll be some US specific bits of webbing in there, but you get the gist. You can use it, you can snip it and fix it up how you want to. And then there is something else. So these used to come, these ladders are from the Flames of War universal carriers, the old universal carriers. Now these are dynamite if you're a German player, and I'll explain to you why. If we have a look at the back of this Panther, if it wants to focus, you can see that I've added the ladders. And now this Panther is very much a work in progress. It's very old, so I haven't touched this for about a year and haven't painted it. It's been about a year since I attempted to paint this, so my techniques have changed quite a bit since. But you can see I've added a ladder onto here, and these were very common on the back of German vehicles. I'm not sure about Allied. But yeah, so if you can find yourself some of those metal ladders, they come in really handy and they add so much character to your tank just by adding that ladder on the back. When you're, taking photos from behind, it just looks so cool and gives it so much character. But yeah, so those are my tips and tricks when I'm doing my projects and looking at storage. So yeah, that's how I give my vehicles a little bit more life, a little bit more character. So let me know if you found this useful. It's just a quick video, going to be put together super quickly. Just wanted to get something out, give you guys something to think about when you're doing your Flames of War stuff. The process really doesn't take very long. If you want to see me build and add storage to a vehicle in the future, then just let me know below. But yeah, let me know below. And if you're new here, please like and subscribe. It really does help the channel. And apart from that, I will go and fix up my room and hopefully get a painting video out next week. But yeah, thanks a lot guys, and I will see you later.